So traders, can you guess what this market is? The one market that is set, that what I believe has already started to make one of the most amazing bull markets we've ever seen. Now this is just one market. There's probably many markets out there that's likely to make a big market, but can you guess what that one market is? I'm going to share with you exactly what that is in today's video. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get straight into it. Now, what we're looking at here is corn. That's right. If you type in the code CORN and that's right, you will get this type of chart that I'm looking at right now. Looking at the daily chart, and you can see corn was down the bottom here around, for the last sort of maybe 6 months or so. You can see it was down around $12, and it's already made a massive move to the upside. Now, what we can see here, right, is obviously corn, right? You've got corn, you've got soybeans, you've got the whole commodities ran, right? You've got all these things that are connected to commodities, which are connected to the food prices, I believe are starting to tick up. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, inflation. Now, we already know, right? We already know if you, most of you guys, when you go to do your shopping, go to your groceries, you see, guess what? Prices are starting to go up. So as soon as prices start to go up, I'm like, maybe there's going to be something hitting us in the markets. Maybe there's an investing opportunity here. Let me go check out these markets. So I'll go home, and there's not really much going on there. And as time has picked up, things are really starting to make some big moves in the market. So by looking at corn, we can see that we have had a very nice move to the upside. But this is where it really gets really exciting. If I bring up the weekly charts, this is the weekly chart here, forget the volume. If I bring up the weekly chart, look what's happened for the last couple of years, right? This is January 2019. So this is January 2019. Look at this, January 2019 into 2020, we made a big move down. And now look what's happened. We've made a massive move up. Now, what do you think that is? I'll give you a bit of a hint. Starts with V. There you go, V, right? V, and ends with B, bottom, right? Bottom. V bottom. But here's the really exciting thing. So if you understand good old simple trend analysis, you will know that the market is giving us a bit of a hint when things are likely to turn around. So if I look at, say, corn here, remember, in an upward trend, we have what? Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And in a downward trend, we have lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. But remember, in a downward trend, we have lower highs, but if we start to break, or even maybe do a high, if we start to break the highs, and then if we come down, make a higher low and then turn around, guess what's happening here? We're starting a bull market. Now guys, I know this sounds really simple, but this is what got me into Ethereum when it broke 400 last year and it rose up to about 1300 and I got out at 1300. I'm not in Ethereum right now as I'm doing this video. Ethereum's right almost at 2000. I still made a nice profit. That was my target at 1300, so I stuck to my plan. I made some good profit. But anyway, the purpose of this video, guys, is to share with you one market that you might want to be looking at if you're looking at and investing in maybe over the next 2 or 3 years. This is not just to buy and hold for a couple of weeks. I don't believe that this is the type of investment here. I believe you want to be long some of these commodities over the next 4 or 5 years as inflation starts to really rear its head. So we can see that this is a turnaround, right? The turnaround is this point here when we get the market making a lower high, comes down. It could come up, even make a bit of a double top. And if it comes back down and makes a higher low here and then turns around, this is the start of a brand new bull market, especially if we've been doing that prior. So if I zoom out on the big picture, which you should be doing if you're looking for really big long-term trends, excuse me, if I look at the absolute massive big picture that I'm seeing here right now, we can see that we've had a very sort of a very big what we call V bottom, right? Big V bottom in the markets. Now, if I zoom right out, look what we have here. We have a high, lower 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 high. Look at that there, right? Lower high, and then the market runs down and comes back up. Look what's happening now. It's another equal high. So if I zoom in just a little bit more on that point there we go, right there, and let me just move into, there we go, right. So if I zoom in, look what's happening. This is the high up here. So if I draw a trend line right from there to there, you can see that this high point here is the exact same point of this lower high here. Now remember, this was the lower high, market making lower highs, come back down, made another lower high, come back down, lower high. Look what's happening now. See how we're making this high point through here, and we've had this very strong move up. So this is not to say that this is happening right now, or I believe it's happening right now. But what happens in every bull market? We get what? We get exactly what happens here in a bear market. So even in a quote unquote crash, you get these types of swings. Breathe in, and you breathe out, and you breathe in, you breathe out. So for me personally, what I'm looking for to place a big position on the long side of corn, because it looks like it's starting to develop a bit of a bottoming pattern here. I would want to see a bull market develop. Now, what would that perfect scenario look like for me to place a position in corn? So the perfect position would be is that we have a bit of a pullback first, and then we start to go for a bit of a run, and we start to break previous highs. If we can start to do something like this, or we have at least a bit of a pullback first, and then a break above $18, guess what? That's now starting a bull market. And therefore, I have a very, very good chance of this being the start of a bull market. And therefore, we're probably likely to start to see corn down the bottom here at 16 start to make its way back up to 50, 52, and even more. As the years, remember I said before, guys, right? As the years start to unfold and the inflation picks up even more and commodity prices start to make big moves and so on and so forth. So this is the one market, guys, that I believe is set to make a massive move coming forward. Now, again, I'm not in it yet, and you must be smart about the way that you invest in these markets. And the way that you do that is you wait for these patterns to turn around. We're not there yet, so it's just a patient. I'll be waiting for probably for another 3 to 6 months for this thing to unfold. But when it does, then I know that I'm going to be in a very good position to hold for many years to come, because we're likely to see a very big move to the upside. So that's the one big market there, guys. Again, this is the fundamental behind this also, guys. Not only did I just share with you on a technical basis, but the fundamental is obviously the Fed printing money, and the velocity of money is going to start to tick around soon. What am I soon? Over the next couple of years, right? We're going to start to slowly see that trend unfold, and we're going to start to see inflation come back, commodity prices continue to rise, and we're likely to see some very, very big moves out of those commodity prices. So there we go, guys. Hope this helps you out, and I'll see you in the next video.